What up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Rogue Legacy 2. In the last episode, we got to the first boss again. We gave it our best shot. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be, but in this episode, we are hoping to make our way back there and see if we can actually take it down. So, a little bit of a fun fact. I recorded that already, but there was an error encoding. I encoded? Did I say recorded or encoded? Oh boy. But anyway, I recorded it already, that beginning. But there was an encoding error, so I had to do it again. I mean, you know, it's no big deal, really. Antiquarian. A mage, it's an antiquarian. So, as a result of that fact, you will see that I have maxed out the study hall. I did that just at the beginning of this episode with the money that I had. But I see. Very interesting. Like, oh yes, there we go. Very interesting. Everything is retro. Very cool. Got a pretty... Oh, I got the 8-ball. Can I aim it? Yes, I can. Okay. I made just a tiny bit of money. But yeah, we're gonna go in, see what we can do, see what's happening. So, what I was talking about before, I was rudely interrupted by the failure of my recording software. What was I talking about? I was talking about, what's been going on? How everybody is doing? Hope everybody's been having a pretty good week. My week has been pretty standard, which is, like I always say, pretty much all you can ask for nowadays is standard. Or maybe it's all that you don't ask for, because standard has gotten pretty bonkers, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so it has to bounce. It doesn't pierce enemies. It doesn't do as much damage as my regular attack either. At least 3 bounces. So we're going to give this a go, see how we were doing. We can get some healing, or we can increase our max HP. I think that's totally fine, because I think that if we are lucky... Oh, okay. We did take some more damage. That is unfortunate, though. As I was saying, if we are lucky, we might be able to get that HP back from just a chest somewhere. But yeah. Oh, there was also a brief discussion on the term TV show. Okay, we're just gonna do that. Reset the enemies in the room, because this is making us a little unhappy. Alright, so this is obviously not the play right here. We're not doing so hot. Also, double also. Okay, we do get mana back when we do that. Okay. That doesn't have any knockback, it seems. The explosion itself has no knockback. But yeah, we were talking about television shows, or using the term TV show to describe things, because I find... Well... Yeah, man, I got nothing with that mage, man. I can hold my own, kind of, depending on the situation, but when I'm playing as the mage, not the case. Like, at all. I just get destroyed. Sorry, Sir Tommy. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Light sensitivity or dwarfism. Well, I really don't want to be the mage again, so I'm gonna go for this one. Didn't make enough money to afford anything. We need 12.15. That's not too bad. And looking at the weight, yeah. Oh, so the haste rune only uses 20. Restore health. No. Deal damage. Restore more mana. And then increase my mana. So I think we'll go for vampirism after we get that last upgrade. And that ought to do us as far as runes go. I mean, I guess if we're going for... By the time we get that last upgrade, I guess if we're going for things, I'll probably take off the money and put on something that might be more useful for, like, survival. Because at that point, we won't really need money. So we can just kind of focus up on doing big hits. Big hits. Are there crits in this game? I don't remember. So I wanted to say big hits, big crits. But I didn't know if it would apply to this specific situation. I am indeed large, though. I cannot lie. There we go. Whew, okay. I mean, it takes a different level of focus, it feels like, to play this character well, because my aim is just so abysmal, and I always forget that like shooting affects your the direction that you go in the air. So I just end up either missing all the time or knocking myself into stuff all the time. Both of which I find quite... Oh, we tried to jump, we really did. Both of which I find quite unfortunate. But, yeah, you don't have to kick these. We don't gotta kick them. We can just jump on them. We have learned. We've learned. Okay. So... Okay, and it stays where you pointed, it seems. Which is pretty interesting. I didn't actually expect that to be the case when I was first doing that. Ooh. Make all the money back. Yeah, I feel like I don't find much need to use anything but the bow and arrow when I'm playing the archer, you know? Because, like, why would I? Right there. I mean, if I need a shot that just goes straight without any gravity, or without being affected by any gravity, then I guess that would be why I would use that magic. And we thought we had done it all. Thought we had it all, but we didn't. There we go. Wasn't so bad. Alright. I'm even larger than those guys. Do not jump high enough. Is this the... Yeah, no, this is the first time we've seen this run. Take damage, increase max HP, or heal all my HP. I believe in myself. Because if I don't, then who will at the end of the day, right? I mean, that's kind of just the way that it goes. Okay. We're going to come back for that. There you go. See if we can make a little bit of cash from that, which we definitely did. So I definitely don't think I can duck under those, but I can. Thank goodness. That would have made me very unhappy if I just ate the poo-poo, you know what I'm saying? I really did think that he wouldn't hit me. I don't know why. It's like this, that's like the second time that that's happened in this specific run. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, oh. Okay. Ow, I'm almost dead. Again. Almost dead again. There we go. These guys are just shooting me from off screen. I don't appreciate it. Whew. Oh boy. Okay. But, yeah, apart from what we talked about last episode, which is kind of... I really had to remind myself. I like, had to quiet my heart as I stood there and be like, no, you are safe. Even if you don't feel like you are, you definitely are. You don't have to worry about that bullet that's whizzing right above your head. There we go, a nice simple shot. But yeah, I talked about what I've been watching, you know, watching and reading, doing some reading, but mostly just watching of things. Watching One Piece, and watching it in two different ways, actually. Okay. Yep, that is more than enough for me. I mean, I trust that. Okay, here's another one. Place my jump with an ascend. Instantly defeat enemies. I mean, all it does is take your max health. That doesn't mean much to me. Okay, so we have the ascend, which I am fond of. There we go. Kill that dude. That mother. But yeah, I've been watching a little bit of One Piece. Still, you know, watching God of High School as one does. And been watching some... Still watching Decadence. It's interesting because, yeah, with my roommate I'm watching One Piece and watching it from like where he is currently, which is in the... Of the people who are familiar, which is the Dressrosa arc. It's pretty like fun part of the show, so it's fun to rewatch and see characters and be like, oh yeah, that's that person. And like when you've like just met them, it's so different than like when you find out their whole backstory, you see all those flashbacks and all that stuff. But one of the things that strikes me the most about One Piece is it's kind of, at least in the I should have destroyed the barrel so that I thought that I was gonna land on the ground and not on the barrel. I don't know why. That doesn't really make sense, but that is truly what I thought. Got maps on the mind and tunnel vision. I can jump super high, or it could just be normal. We could just be standard. Yeah, I feel like I was gonna say normal, but I was like, oh, that's a little unfair to the people with those traits. I wouldn't call them abnormal, but they are atypical, I guess. You know, once again, semantics. I mean, I tend to be someone who tries to choose the words carefully, but I mean, it depends also on the situation. But yeah, as I was saying about that TV show that I said the name of many times already, and I used the term TV show again too. Okay, I overestimated how much damage that would do, but it works pretty well. It's a nice range attack. But yeah, it feels sort of antiquated in an interesting way, because it's always like, because it takes so long to like get to the point, to like get to pretty much anything really, because like there's the intro, which is like the intro song, which is standard. That's just kind of what you get with any show, and I wouldn't trade that for nothing else. And then you get like the actual intro. That's not the OP. That's not the opening. Which I don't know if you're familiar with those sorts of terms, but you know, people use OP and ED to abbreviate opening and ending in anime, stuff like that. But you hear the OP, you watch the OP, or if you're like me, after you've seen it a couple of times, you're gonna skip it. And then there's the intro, and the intro, they're like, this is what One Piece is about. And Luffy's like, hi, I'm Luffy. This is episode 600 and something, but just in case, it's me. I am the main character. I am Luffy, and I want to be king of the pirates. And then after that, then you get the actual recap, and they're like, here's what happened last episode. And they proceed to essentially just kind of replay a good 5 to 6 minutes of everything that happened in the last episode. Like the scenes that they flash back are like the full scene, so you are literally watching the same thing, like verbatim, full length, a second time. And like once you notice that it's happening, you can't not notice that it's happening. So you're just kind of going around. You're not going around. You're kind of sitting down and being like, yeah, I've seen this already. And one of the things that when I was talking to my roommate about it was like, I kind of understand it in the context of somebody who's watching this show as it's coming out, you know? You're not really, sometimes you do need a recap because it has been a full week since the last episode. You can't be expected to remember every detail after the week has passed. So, you know, in that context, yeah, I think it makes sense. You know, they're showing you, hey, just in case you forgot, it's been a week, you know, you've been busy with some other stuff, not necessarily thinking about what happened in One Piece all week. So, here's what happened last week. Here's what the character said. What? Oh, boy. All right, we're back in a little bit. We're going to have to... We had a little thing to take care of, but we are back. Oh, what was I even saying last? I was talking about the incredible amount of time that passes before you actually see any new content, you know, in that TV show or in that show, anime, whatever word that I decide to use or settle on for it. I don't know why I'm specifically... Okay, interesting. I'm gonna have to go pop out for a second and check this out. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, there we go. We are back. Seems that things have chilled out now. Everything is working in good order. Is that the word? Okay, so what is this? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. What is that? What is that? What does that do? I don't know what it is, but it has killed me. 1 second. Where's my gear? What am I moving in between on this side? That's very weird. Okay. What is that? What is that? I have no idea what it is. I don't know. I mean, I think I have basically everything, so I must be able to interact with it, but I have no idea what that is. Oh, great. Lost a lot of HP. More damage or more jumps. You know I'm a sucker for the extra jumps. I mean, it won't matter if I'm dead, so. Whoa! There you go. That wasn't so bad. But yeah, like I was saying before, it's mostly just like, it feels like just too much time passes. It feels like not enough is happening because, you know, you're just kind of sitting there, you're seeing something that you've already seen because literally you just finished watching the last episode. Oh, we tried. Alright. Well, yeah, we just finished watching the last episode and you're basically seeing what you just saw. And after all that, they finally see like the name of the episode, and you're like, all right, this is essentially new content. But it is also interesting to see because when you watch like the most recent episodes, they don't do that anymore. I'm not exactly sure when because I didn't. Oh wow, we actually had enough. I'm not exactly sure when that transition happened. I'm certainly glad that it did happen because I read One Piece. Well, I watched One Piece. That was like how I first started watching, and then I stopped watching because I mean that was back when I was really young and I was kind of just watching it because it was on television, and so then I got back into it a long time after when I was in like maybe when I think it was in between my sophomore year of college and my junior year of college. During like one summer, I was like, I'm just gonna catch up on One Piece. So I binged essentially from episode 1 of the anime to like all the way down to where what's it called, Punk Hazard is. So that would be okay, just wanted to make sure that I heard someone. But what was essentially all the way up to Punk Hazard, wherever that is in the show. I think it's like probably over 500 episodes. And oh, I forgot I was vegan. And yeah, in that situation, it definitely gets very annoying. But yeah, that's around where I stopped. And I didn't really watch it much after that. I kind of stopped altogether for another long period of time. Then I got back into it, but I got back into it by reading it. So I read all the way up to around where it is right now, which is in the Wano arc. I think they're in Act 3, I think, of the Wano arc. I read up to like where I was like current, and then I kind of lagged behind a little bit because I like to create a little bit of a surplus so that I can read more than one chapter at a time. So that's around where I am now. But I saw some of the like actual, you know, anime just on YouTube. I saw like a clip and it looked good, and like I saw that, you know, the person who is animating it is the person who animated the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie, which I thought looked great, and I thought it was a good movie in general. So, you know, it was definitely a lot of a big incentive to get me back into just like watching it. I was seeing that, like, you know, it's a new style. It's a little different than how it was before, because I definitely don't think that the anime of One Piece is perfect. I wouldn't say that the manga is perfect either, but I mean, I would definitely say that like it's incredible. And the anime, I wouldn't necessarily call incredible. At least not in the same, not to the same caliber, or not at the same level that the manga itself was. So it's interesting because when you're watching some of the earlier episodes before this like new like style even was a thing, you can still see that I can still see that like same old shit, the same old shit that like I'm used to seeing when like watching One Piece with like the long flashbacks, just flashbacks in general. Anytime they're like, oh, what happened in the past? Like they play too much of the flashback. They could just leave it at just like, here, just a quick couple of seconds to remind you of what scene we're talking about. And most people would be like, fine. But they tend to just like be like, here's what we're talking about, and here's all of it again a second time, just in case. But I mean, those are all fairly minor nitpicks. Although at the same time, if anyone was like, I don't want to do it because of that, I would also not begrudge them that. Which is why I would like, I generally, between watching anime and reading manga, I would say like, I mean, I definitely read more than I watch. And I wouldn't necessarily say that like I prefer to read it than as opposed to watching it. But they are two. Oh, I thought I still had multiple jumps. They are very different experiences, both of which I think are like valid and that I both personally enjoy to have. You know, which is why when I really like a show, such as is the case with God of High School, I will read it and watch it. Or, I mean, in some other cases, I read something and then a little while later, I find out that it's getting turned into a show. Like with Misfit of Demon Academy and like, what's it called? So I'm a Slime, So What? All that kind of stuff. Actually, that's So I'm a Spider, So What? What's the name of the one that's the slime one? I just want to say Slime Tan, and that's not the name of the TV show. It's not the name. What's it called? I keep thinking I have multiple jumps. I really have to stop that. I have no idea what I just got. Bloodstones. I think those were bloodstone. What do you use that for? No idea. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was vegan. Crud. So that means that this is it. There's no way to get HP back. Unless I find one of those altars that want to give me some HP. So, oh my goodness. Oh, this will do. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I could have gotten the multiple jumps again. I saw it, but look. We're going for longevity, not just... We're going for longevity, not just, like, you know, mobility. But yeah, as I was... Oh, I really thought that I had that, man. Okay, don't eat the food. Don't eat the meat. It'll kill you. Okay, then we got that. But yeah, as I was... it's kind of like a... Yeah, I mean, even though they are similar, and I mean, they are literally based on the same, like, story, they feel very different, you know? Because it is... I mean, one is just, like, sort of... Oh, my gosh. One is just, like, sort of one person kind of working on a central vision or idea. I mean, they still have their assistants. They still have, like, the person who's, like, advising them, I guess you would call it. I mean, I don't think that's what they literally call it, but that's what I call it as a person who's not, you know, very well versed in the industry. But yeah, you got the person who's kind of being like, hey, here's what we think. Like, here are, like, the representative from... Oh my gosh, I got so okay, I ate it while I was still in my like invincible state, so it didn't harm me again. I wanted to say harm and hurt, so I said harm, something between those. That's so unfortunate. Oh, well, I expected as much. Oh, and you actually have to walk back too. That is so unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, I mean, ideally you can do both. You don't really have to pick between one. But I know of people who are like, you know, I would rather read it, so I'm just gonna read it, and that will be that. And some people who are like, oh, I've read this and I like it, and I'm just gonna leave it and hope that it gets turned into an anime, and I could watch that. Once again, you know, it all depends on your preference, on what meets your fancy, suits your fancy. What is fancy to you? What do you say in that situation? Do you say meets your fancy? Do you say suits your fancy? Because I usually say meets, suits. Now I've confused myself, just like immediately. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, this isn't so bad. I mean, it's kind of straightforward. How much money do we have? Well, I know what I said. And I did mean what I said. It was straightforward. I'm just bad. Well, okay, that'll have to do for this episode. If you enjoyed the episode, as always, like, favorite, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's anything that you want to say about something I've said or you saw, make sure to leave a comment. Have a good one.